Welcome to the Sloan C Workshop Series, Retention Strategies in Online Education. I'm Ruth Bennett. You'll meet Marie Fetzner when the workshop begins. We're both delighted to have you with us to discuss this complex subject. We have both been involved with online teaching and learning for many years. Marie has been involved since 1997. She has been teaching online since 2001. Her dissertation work is related to retention of first-time learners, and she's had a lot of experience applying the research in her own classrooms. I've been working with teachers through the Learn NC program at UNC Chapel Hill to prepare them to teach online, as well as teaching online myself since 2003. We hope to combine our experience with yours to produce a lively and satisfying workshop. You can read a little bit more about us in the bio section. Online student retention is an important topic for us all, and we look forward to exploring this issue with you. Our online student retention rates tend to be significantly lower than their on-campus equivalents. With record numbers of students studying online, it's really important to discover why. So in this workshop, we'll review and discuss retention strategies and best practices and explore the issue with you using the Sloan C 5 pillars as a framework. You'll see the Sloan C pillar best practices in one of the required readings for the workshop. In this workshop, you will examine access and scale issues that affect online teaching and learning in your own institutions or organizations. You will list and explain 2 or more instructional design strategies for learning effectiveness engagement. You will identify specific support systems that enhance online student and faculty satisfaction and success. In the final assessment, if you wish to have a certificate, you will identify the top 5 best practices from the course in either the course documents or the discussions that are most viable for implementation at your institution. You'll also briefly explain how you plan to initiate or apply 2 of those best practices. The broad retention question for this workshop is, how do we retain students in online courses or programs so that they meet their learning objectives? The Sloan C 5 pillars will be used as a framework for responses to this question. We have a busy 10 days planned, so we hope you'll get started right away and be active participants. The readings will provide a good base for you, whether you're experienced or new to online teaching and learning. Each of the discussions focuses on 1 or more of the pillars, and you'll hear from your peers about best practices and needs in their institutions or organizations. When you join us for the live wrap-up session, we'll do some polling and discuss issues such as the impacts of fiscal cuts and where the focus should be in startup programs. You'll have the opportunity to raise issues that you feel need more discussion as well. There are 4 core readings and 4 optional readings here, 3 graded discussions focusing on the pillars, 3 ungraded discussions, discussion questions, and a final session, a final assessment for those interested in receiving a Sloan C Certificate of Completion, and a participant survey. All of these things are going to happen in the next 10 days, so strap in. To receive a Certificate of Completion, you must participate in the introductory discussion within the first 3 days of the workshop, provide substantive postings in the 3 graded discussion forums on the dates assigned, complete by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, October 12th, the final assessment and the Sloan C survey. We do hope you'll all participate, even if you don't want to receive a Certificate of Completion. We value your input. The Sloan C 5 pillars of quality are very helpful for considering the key factors for retaining students. We have listed 2 retention factors in each category. Many more, I'm sure, will emerge as we review best practices and discuss your experiences and thoughts throughout the workshop. As you review the slides on best practices, as well as the full document on best practices located in the final assessment section of the workshop. Please think about the practices that your organization or institution uses or could use to keep students in its programs. We've listed just 2 best practices for each pillar. There are many more. Think about what you would add to this and the next few slides. Here we talk about personalizing access via administrative or programmatic contact people, marketers, advisors, troubleshooters, and so forth, and establishing protocols for student advising as part of the access pillar best practices. Here are 2 scale pillar best practices. Integrate online education with the institutional mission and develop an infrastructure for growth in online and blended delivery. How many of you teach for institutions where these 2 practices are evident? If not, what do you think is the impact of not providing such integration and infrastructure? We'll be discussing these and other scale issues very soon. Take a look at this quote from David McCord. A student in my online facilitation class sent this to me. It's kind of a tongue twister. As you think about best practices for student satisfaction and what you know about students' best and worst online experiences, McCord's words still ring true after all these years. As online facilitators, we have big work to keep our students satisfied in learning, whether we're in the face-to-face or online learning environment. Student satisfaction is always a tough one, and these are just 2 of many best practices for student satisfaction. Identify online learning obstacles to eliminate them for students, and those would be different in all of your institutions, I'm sure, and make available a technical help desk for students. There are so many best practices in the learning effectiveness pillar that it's really difficult to know where to begin. Of course, class size is not something that each of us can control, but it is a factor. And clear expectations, prompt feedback are really an important thing, especially when we can do some of these things prior to the class beginning. As Marie and I looked at the literature and discussed various programs with peers and workshop participants, we found that programs that seem to have difficulty are those that don't train their new online faculty or don't have faculty development that focuses specifically on the issues and learning needs of online faculty. So we decided to highlight this best practice, to require an online teaching course for new online faculty and make ongoing online professional development available. The second one is that outstanding institutions are already doing, and their faculty members note that it is very motivating, and that's to recognize outstanding online teaching and best courses for annual rewards or recognition programs. As you prepare for the discussions, please consider these. What do you feel are the major retention issues in online learning at your institution or organization? Of these issues, is there one factor that you feel has the greatest impact on online student retention? Are all 5 pillars mandatory? Does your institution or organization have a retention plan? And I'm sure that there will be a lot of other questions that come up. We welcome any more that you might have. So let's get started. October 3rd, the workshop opens. Please introduce yourself, review the workshop materials and readings, and start to interact with the rest of us. Thanks so much. Looking forward to meeting you.